It's a quick in transit, brothers from GMSLA, on the way to our destination, so we just want to do a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, so say Brakatah Yahweh,
Brakatah Yahweh,
Brakatah Yahushai,
Brakatah Yahushai,
Brakatah Yahweh,
Brakatah Yahweh,
Brakatah Yahushai,
Brakatah Yahushai.
All right, double honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone. And much love to the house of David, the 144, the men the Lord have chosen to do this work in truth and sincerity, all right? And we're just going to jump straight into the script. All right, grab that from me, bro.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God."
All right, stop right there. All right, so the time has come. All right, we in this time now that great judgment is about to come upon the face of this earth. We got the Passover coming soon, and what the script say is that the time of judgment is going to come first upon the house of the Lord. So who's the house of the Lord? Israel. All right, the 12 patriarchs. From Judah on the way down unto Issachar. All right, and keep reading, bro.
It says, "And if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel?"
So what is the end of them that obey not the gospel? All right, the categories of them that obey not the gospel is following under the pestilence that's coming to this place. The martial law. The famine. Those are heavy judgments that are about to come upon all the people that are not doing the right things by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're not doing the work. That's not that weren't called unto this truth that was bestowed upon us. And for us, that's within this truth. We got to continue to keep working even harder so that we don't be cast away and spewed out and and considered as a 2/3.
Yeah, just like what the brother said. You read that scripture. That's talking about the men that was in this truth, man. So he's cleaning house first. That happens all the time. Before the Pashak and right after. You know what I'm saying? So so he said. Okay, read that scripture one more time again.
God, let me get it. It's a lot.
It's 50 push-ups, brother.
First Peter chapter 4, verse 17. "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel?"
Look at a perfect example. Look what's going on. There's been judgment sent upon Israel, man. So-called brothers that was in the truth. A lot of them fell out. And started preaching against the gospel. And look what and scoffing. And look what's going on. And a lot of them being put put in bodily harm, man. You know what I'm saying? And some been put to death, man. And everything. So what's the difference? Imagine the one that don't obey the gospel. That's talking about the 2/3, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
like
Most High is gonna clean house first, man.
Yeah, the 2/3, the 2/3, because it could be twofold. The 2/3, they don't have a shot, period. But it said that the judgment shall start at the house of Israel. Read that part again, Baba Shaw.
God, nice a lot.
Because your brothers touched on it. Like you said, that's those who once was in the fold and fell out the fold.
Yep.
Because they was once in the house of the Most High. You got it?
Khan. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel?"
Right. The house of God, right? So basically those who was in this work, doing the work, and I believe the next verse goes into saying, if the ungodly shall be saved, it should say, if the ungodly shall, it says, if the righteous shall scarcely be saved.
Khan, you want to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
"And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?"
That's the point I was trying to make. The righteous shall be saved, where shall the ungodly appear? The ungodly represents those who fell out, which they only fell out of this truth just to go right into the 2/3 club.
That's right.
Basically, the Most High through the Spirit escorted them out the VIP section and put them out the club.
That's
Put them right into the 2/3 club.
2/3 club.
God.
I got a pray. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. It says, "Wherefore, wherefore thou rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure."
Yeah, you gotta give diligence to this word, man. You gotta give diligence to this truth by going out to the highways and byways, doing sit down lessons with your brethren. You know what I'm saying? Stop being a loner.
Yo, implement yourself, bro. That's Brother Brock touched on that tonight.
Yeah,
You
know. We
that loner spirit, man.
We talk about that later, but you know,
I got one.
yeah, you gotta put your A game in this truth, man. Put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? Put the work in, man.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10.
You gotta finish that precept.
But
Yeah, I didn't finish.
go ahead, finish it. Salak.
It says, I'll just read it. Wherefore thou rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fail.
If you do these things, like doing the work, not going over there scoffing and being on radio shows, and try to discredit the doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai by doing the work diligently, or doing the works of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai according to this doctrine, man. Going out to the highways and hedges, doing classrooms, doing transits, any other subjects, man.
Any way to push this word.
Any way to push this word, man. That's making your calling your election sure, man.
Right, because the scriptures tell you that first the Most High shall send for many fishers.
That's right.
That any way you push this word out is a way of fishing. You throwing a line. It's just like when somebody that really want to catch a fish, right? They be on their boat. They have 3-4 different fish poles. They have them stuck. Have them sitting, and then they'll just be sitting back reading. And then when they see they see that tug on the line, they know they got a bite. So then they pick up that fishing pole and start wheeling that in. So the same thing with us. Going out teaching, or hitting the streets, that's one fishing pole. Doing the sit down is another fishing pole. Doing a live show is another fishing pole. Doing the in transit is another fishing pole.
Right.
It's just different ways to fish, to basically to cast those lines out.
Right. Hey, that's what we doing. We casting the lines out, and we're using, the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, the word, as the bait to reel in, his elect, just like the Lord commanded us to do. Because that's part of our purpose, for us to reel in the elect, condemn this place, let the people know that Babylon is going down, the rulership of Esau is coming to an end. His age is about to be over. Yahweh Shai back on the way. This good song that we singing, is going to be good on the ears of the ones who the Lord have chosen to him, set near to Himself.
That's right, huh?
And then through the Spirit of the Most High, put the Spirit on Apostle's heart, the name last year, the year of the push, right? Meaning basically push this word by any means possible, all means possible, to push this word. And this year's deemed the year of death and destruction and diligence, right? Which the Most High is going to bring forth the death and destruction. We got to bring forth the diligence, so we won't take part in being part of the death or the destruction, right? And also, that means that this year is still the year of the push, because if you're being diligent, you're going to be pushing this word.
I got one. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
And that's the
Go ahead.
That's the death and destruction right there. And then the question's gonna come next. Go ahead.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye So I'm gonna read it again. It says, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Diligent.
Right. And that word, holy conversation, is how you conduct yourself.
Right.
And that's a key word, you know, because that's the manner of person you're gonna be is how you carry yourself. You know, we all men in the flesh. You know, we gonna make mistakes, but what the scriptures say, the righteous man slippeth, but he get back up. You know, he keeps on moving. You know, and matter of fact, if you keep reading down some more a little bit,
like it says, it says, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh.
Okay, so that's on our mind, is desiring the day of Yahweh Shai making a second return, all right, to deliver the elect out of here into the spaceships, which you call UFOs, which are actually chariots, all right? Keep going.
Wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Keep going.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth.
And that right there is a point, because that's what's on the mind of the men that the Lord have set up, looking for that new heaven and that new earth, you know, for everything to be refreshed, to be set over, you know, because right now, what are we in? We are in captivity. We're in a wicked society where women have rule over us, where there's abundance of homosexual going on. You can have any type of, you can create your own gender if you like, and if you got the money to pay for any operations, you can do that. You know, it's you know, people having sexual relationships with dogs. You know, so that right there is upon the mindset of the men that's out here sighing and crying, is looking towards that new heaven and that new earth. You know,
that's like it. And also in this society is a false balance, man. It only pushes out wickedness. It upholds wickedness, man. It doesn't bring forth anything righteous anymore. It never did, but like it before, you used to see, you know, it wasn't this bad, but now it's on an all-time high of just pushing out nothing but wickedness. Before, they used to have, they used to throw subliminal messages and hidden secrets. Now they're plain and blatant out and open with it.
Yeah.
They got their artists, musicians, they don't even hide they hand gestures and signs no more. This is what it is. Everybody knows all about it. They don't hide it no more, so they push forth wickedness. And we all know that a false balance is an abomination to the Most High.
yeah.
So this place is abomination.
Yep. All that is done, that's being pushed out upon our people, you know, which we being shot at from above, is to commit adultery, you know, to be a fucking degenerate, you know, excuse my language, you know, in this society, man, to be as nothing. But we are really the Lord's chosen people, man. But our people so dumbed down, we don't know how to carry ourselves or how to conduct ourselves, because a lot of our people don't resort back to our blueprint of how we should walk, you know, which is these words. All right, I got a quick script, if I may, real fast. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 11. It says, "Wherefore set your affection upon my words."
Like it, bro. Start at 1. Read on
Start at
down.
1. Verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 1. "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that learn ye that be judges of the earth, of the ends of the earth. Give ear, ye that rule the people."
It's basically the Most High is talking to in his service. Like the 6th chapter is basically it goes in the whole chapter majority of the chapter is about wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and how to basically conduct yourself, ways that the Most High's service should live by. Go ahead.
It says, "And glory in the multitude of nations, for power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest. Who shall try your works and search out your counsels? Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's persons, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness, for he have made the small and great and care for all alike. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty, unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak that ye may learn wisdom, and not fall away. For they that keep holiness.
Because basically, let me put a quick point out. Like, men of the Lord is not gonna seek after those worldly things, like to basically to be something in this society. You know, like a king, like somebody who's reaching. And I'm talking about in this society, like somebody striving to be something in today's world. You're not gonna seek wisdom, you know, because having wisdom is not popular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, you doing things the way this world so people could like you, because wisdom ain't the thing to be. You know, in the ancient days, a man that was wise was held to a high esteem, but not in this society. In this society, being a coon, being a wicked, being unrighteous, and doing all kind of crazy, wild world shit, that's held to a high regard. So people seek after that, but they don't seek after wisdom. That's why the Most High said the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Most High.
Right.
That's right. Verse 10, it says, for they that keep holiness, holy shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore, set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Which that's going back into that holy conversation,
right?
You know, that how to conduct yourself. Because if you send your affection upon these words and you're desiring them, you know, then you're gonna be instructed on the ways how to guide yourself through the Spirit.
Yeah, and the most important part of that is that you'll be striving to please the Most High,
right?
Because all our righteousness is filthy rags to the Most High, but the Most High will honor those who are trying to please Him. We're not gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be 100% right. The Most High's got to make that happen. But He's put a spirit on His chosen to strive for that perfection and strive for the masteries. You know, to do what the scriptures say, because we know that the Most High has put the spirit on us to know that there's a grave judgment coming.
That's right.
And those who don't listen to and follow what the scriptures say, you're gonna get caught up in that judgment.
Yeah.
It's just that plain.
That's right. Like, also a precept that came to my mind was Sirach 39th chapter. He that giveth his mind to the law,
It shall be occupied in the prophecy.
Kana, if you could get it about Baba Kasha, because it had the first line, you give your mind. You're giving your mind to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you're basically neglecting your own life, man. You're giving your life to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you basically doing that full sacrifice of giving it your all and be occupied in prophecy, serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Mm-hmm. You know, you're giving up your life on this side to gain Yahushua on the other side, man.
This is Sirach chapter 39, verse 1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies.
And the wisdom of all the ancient is what the prophets had wrote down. It said be occupied in prophecy. So what the ancient what the ancient wrote down in the old days, they wrote down prophecies. They wrote down things that's gonna come to pass. They wrote down that these missiles is gonna hit America, aka Babylon. They wrote down that the mark of the beast is the RFID chip. They wrote down that Iran, you know, once Iran gets invaded by Babylon, then Russia's gonna step in, you know, and World War III is gonna get popped off, man. You know, that's prophecy, man. That's what the ancients wrote down in the old school, man. You know.
Yep, and you know, hey, like the Lord said, my sheep hear my voice. You know, what does the scripture say in Revelation? Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy. You know what I mean? So all these words that are within these scripts, man, is how we know how to maneuver. I'm gonna jump back to Wisdom of Solomon 6.
Wait, go back. Were you still in verse 30 and 39? Jump to verse 19.
Jump to verse 19. I'll slide that.
39 and 19.
I got you right here. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 39.
No. Sirach. Back in Sirach.
Sirach chapter 39, verse 19. The works of all flesh are before him, and nothing can be hid from his eyes.
Right. Nothing can be hid from the Most High's eye. Wickedness ain't gonna be hid, and righteousness is not gonna be hid from his eye. So the men that are be occupied in prophecy is gonna be the men who's gonna be striving to try to do right according to what the scriptures say. So when these prophecies hit, they can be protected, man.
Yeah.
You know, the Most High can, because the scriptures tell you what He gonna do for those who follow His ways, who live their life according to precept upon precept. They know that if they do the things that the Most High said said to do, He said that He would defend them.
That's right.
And that's what the elect's gonna have their hope in, and that's why the elect will be defended. Lord willing, we're part of that number.
That's right. That's right.
I got a quick one.
Go ahead, man.
It says Galatians chapter 6 verse 10. It says, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
Yep, brotherhood. Talking about the brotherhood. Those who are brothers, you know, those are the ones who are part of the faith.
The elect.
Doing right according to the brothers.
That's right. You know, so we have an opportunity to get saved, man. So let's, you know, like the brothers bring out a camp, you know, we continue to do what we've been doing, continue to stay in the spirit to the best of our abilities, continue to keep learning and pushing out these scriptures, man, these prophecies, man. You know? Let's keep it pushing, and Yahweh Shem Yahushai is on his way, man. The times are closer, man. The times every day that passes by is getting closer and closer.
And then also continue to battle demons, man. Continue to battle Satan, man, because that's a clear-cut indicator that you're doing things right. If Satan's fucking with you, if he ain't messing with your head, he ain't messing with your mind, that means he got a hold of it. You're not battling nothing because there's nothing to battle, because he's done his job, right? But if you're constantly battling Satan's constantly messing with your head, that's because you're doing some things right. And he's constantly trying to get you out of the spirit.
That's right. I got this right here. I got Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 17. If y'all brothers want, we could end on this last one. The point is in verse 20. It says, verse 17, it says, for the very true beginning of her, which is talking about wisdom, is the desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh, because what is the word doing? It's as living water, is purifying us, you know, as just as well as the tribulation that we go through is purifying us, you know, like the gold that is being refined, all right? Because the scripture says, shall we not be made more precious than fine gold, all right? And how is that? It's going to be through the tribulation that we go through and through this word, you know, constantly indulging into it. Right. It says, verse 19, it says, and incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. You know, and that's the ultimate goal that we have on our mind. That's our ultimate hope, you know, our faith, you know, to desire the kingdom, to make it onto the chariots, you know, to be one of those men of that 12,000 that it speaks about in the book of Revelation, you know, that are gonna be saved, you know, when Yahushua comes to destroy this place, you know.
Get Proverbs 1:7.
Proverbs 1:7?
Yeah.
The beginning of wisdom?
Yeah.
God, huh? I was just thinking about that one. This is Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7. It says, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Right, because the when we brother brought out in Sirach 39, though being occupied in prophecy, we know that the scriptures tell you that the times is coming is the time of Jacob's trouble is like no other time ever before, and no other time thereafter. This means basically this is going to be the hardest time in existence that we coming into. And when these prophecies, you knowing that, the fear of the Most High should be on you. that's how you know that knowledge is that you're actually coming into wisdom, and this knowledge is within you, because you got that fear of the Most High to do what you're supposed to do, to try to do things right. Like nobody should have to get on your case like you need to do the work, and that's the reason why these scoffers fall out, because they don't have the fear of the Most High on them. They can just go out. They think it's okay to just fall out and do and not do the work of the Most High. That just goes to show that they weren't rooted and grounded, because fear is a major part of this thing that we have, man. What makes it precious is knowing that, damn, this is gonna happen. Like if you don't have that fear, you got to question: do you really think that this is gonna happen? That the prophecy is gonna come to pass? Because if they did, why are you not doing the work? You got guys that got kids, man. They got children, and they just fall out and become a scoffer. Do you fear the Most High? Do you love your child? Like, to me, it's wild. But at the same time, it just goes to show that the scriptures, it just gives more validity to the scriptures, because the scriptures tell you that this was going to happen. Go ahead, bro.
I got a precept. This is to back you up. This is Sirach chapter 25 verse 12. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of His love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving onto Him.
Yep, and then you can get Sirach 23 and 19 too. You follow up with
What? Get this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith,
which ye may believe,
whereby ye have believed.
You're gonna escape by your works, your faith, and your faith based off how you believe, man. So if you ain't out there, if you was once hitting the street, I don't know how a dude can be in this truth. And I'm talking about us that came in around the same time. All the brothers who's fallen up under the apostles, that came in the last, within the last 8-9 years or less. How you could be out there doing the work for X amount of years and then turn around and just not be out there. You just clock out, right? I'm tired of working, You clocked in 2007, and then you get to time, you're like, you know what? You started taking breaks, meaning not going out, not coming to camp. Then all of a sudden, you just, you don't want to do it no more. So you just clock out.
If I may say, the scriptures say, blessed is he that keepeth his garment,
Right.
If you ain't
DCB what? DCB naked.
If DCB found naked. So once you use the that spiritual hedge, of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're gonna get binded up and cast it out. And that's all it is. That this brother Taz always bring that out. He say, many are called, but few are chosen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's serious, bro. Because really, if they not, and those who are not chosen, you can see it, because they don't really have true understanding of this thing.
Yeah.
Guys, you think somebody have understanding, but they really don't have understanding, because they could just feel like they can just fall out, not do the work, but then start scoffing. Do you know what the scriptures say? How could you not apply that to yourself? Like, I don't understand that. Like, you should be like, damn, this gotta be me, because the scriptures say that the scoffers coming in the last days. Like, damn, I'm not edifying no more. I'm just scoffing at the men I used to give double honors to. Go ahead.
You wanted that in
Sirach
23?
Yeah.
Sirach 23 and 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men.
Right, so such a man that only feareth the eyes of men, meaning they don't care. They'll do what they want to do, and as long as men don't see what they're doing behind closed doors, and you got dudes scoffing and like you want to magnify what brothers is doing. You want to meddle into a brother's personal life. That has nothing to do with the scripture, but you want to put his livelihood on broadcast it and make a video and put this brother's business on the street like that's the thing to do. You want to talking about, you want to put the apostle Tahar's his tax information out. All this shit that you doing that before men, as if you walking around and ain't no dirt on you. Like ain't nothing ain't nothing you doing wrong. Go ahead.
It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men.
Those eyes are the angels. Those are the Most High's angels. Is those eyes is brighter 10,000 times brighter than the sun. They see everything. They record everything and they report everything to the Most High. So whatever it is you doing there, just because brothers ain't got no private eye on your ass, brothers ain't got no government clearance to go and to hack into your computer, and you think that what you doing is like you good? The Most High got the best hackers, man. The hackers are the angels that are hacking into your life, and they magnifying your shit.
Come on, man. Go on, could I start one more verse? Could I go up a verse?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 23, verse 18. It says, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness, the walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins.
Like spiritually breaking that wedlock is we're on the path to try to join ourselves unto Yahushua when he comes. That marriage that the elect is going to be joined with the bride, joining unto the bridegroom. Mm-hmm. And if you're on that path trying to achieve that, you're part of that wedlock. And may you make it into the marriage. But if you break that wedlock, but you don't go out and do what the bride would be doing, you broke the wedlock. Spiritually speaking.
Go ahead. Such a man only feareth the eyes of man, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts.
Right. The most secret parts, man. Which means that what you doing in the dark, you sitting up there talking about, you're going to expose brothers, that brothers don't take down videos, and brothers, like, throwing out dry threats. Like, if we give a damn. We don't care. Scriptures say that we count our life as madness.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? This is dung to us. As long as we don't lose Yahweh Shai.
What was the number one threat? They said we got 6 months to take down our videos, but they gonna expose all the brothers.
Yeah.
What did the scripture says, man? It says, "Do my prophets no harm, man."
Yeah.
They will not be backed down to a corner no more.
They need to read. Matter of fact, get it, brother.
Get it, brother.
Jump Romans the 8th chapter.
Romans the 8th chapter. You want to get out, Aaron?
Yeah, I got you. This is
Started like 8 and started like 25.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 25. It says, but I got started at 24. It says, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for?
Yeah, if you know if you knew something, why do you need to have faith? Faith that comes with not knowing, and having, and if you don't know that you're part of the elect, you're gonna strive for it.
Yeah.
But if you just think you know, then you ain't gonna do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But we don't know. We don't make ourselves of that number, but we have the faith and hope that we are. And part of that, having that faith and hope is by going out and doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, but if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
Right, and that's what brothers are doing. Go ahead.
Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit...
It's like, go back for a second, bro.
It says, verse 26, likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities.
Spirit helpeth our infirmities, because the Spirit is a comforter unto us. When you going through different things, man, you read through the scriptures and you get comfort, and you can get comfort in the scripture that's basically telling you to man up. That's comfort, because other men went through that. And then there's you understand why you're going through these things. Go ahead.
It says, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groaning which cannot be uttered.
Right. So our spirits send up prayers within us that we may not even we're unaware of, because the Most High controls everything. He knows what we need. So our spirit send prayers up to the Most High, things that to cover and do things for us through the Spirit. Go ahead.
And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are the called according to his purpose, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image.
This is going into it's about to really start to touching bases on about the elect. Go ahead.
Conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and who
he predestinated the elect. The elect was there from the beginning. He predestinated them. Like the scriptures tell you that in Jeremiah, the first chapter, that he knew them from the womb. So that's why they're called. Go ahead.
And whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them and also glorified.
Right, because he justified them, meaning the elect is his, man. They justified through the Most High. They're blameless. Go ahead.
It says, what shall we then say to these things? If Yahweh be for us, who can be against us?
Did scoffers read that? Who gonna be against the Most High? Who gonna give charge to the Most High's elect? You can't do that, man. The Most High got them covered. They justified. So all your freaking scoffing and scorning, that's all in vain. It's all vanity. It ain't gonna prosper. But they don't get it. So the Most High, he's perfect balance. He has that reprobate spirit on these scoffers, to thinking that what they're doing is gonna even it's gonna even matter in the end. It ain't gonna even matter. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So he's deceiving the hell out of these scoffers. He actually deceived them when they was in the part of the fold. Because that was vanity. Go ahead.
It says, he that spareth not his own Son, but delivereth him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things?
Because they're joint heirs unto Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Who shall lay?
It goes into that beginning early on in the 8th chapter.
Who shall lay anything to the charge of Yahweh's elect?
Right, you can't lay nothing to the charge. Matter of fact, bro, just to touch on it, jump up to the 16th verse, the 17th verse of the 8th chapter, right? Same chapter.
Romans 8 and 17. It says, and if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with the Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
Right, so the elect is joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. So what Yahweh Shai went through, they gonna go through. And when Yahweh Shai get his glory, they'll get their glory. So you can't lay no charge to these men. You can't lay no charge to the Most High's elect, because just like the wicked scribes and Pharisees couldn't lay a charge to Yahweh Shai, you can't lay a charge to his elect, because they joint heirs. Jump back where you were at.
I got a question too. I got something to say. I got a question, matter of fact. If it ain't the apostles, right? Or you know, the men that's doing Willie Yahweh Shemel Shai, then who is it? Because it gotta be somebody. You know, that's the question of the day.
If it ain't the apostles, then we're all off with the reading of the prophecies. We're all off with the time frame we're in. Yeah. Because that means if it ain't the apostles, we got long waiting for those men to come around, because they ain't nowhere in sight if it's not the apostles. And we know that the prophecies are on point. We're seeing them. We're living through them. We see them coming. We're seeing them happening, and we see how the other prophecies are right around the corner from happening. So that must mean prophecies can't come without the apostles being there, without the true men of the Lord. So they have to be there, because the Most High said that matter of fact, get Isaiah 42 and 10, because the prophecies and the apostles, the men of the Lord, the servants, they come. That's a marriage right there. That's a union. The prophecy's not showing up without the men of the Lord being out teaching you that's coming, and the men that's coming out there teaching you, they're not gonna come out there without the prophecies coming shortly to pass after that. They go one another. One's one step, and the other one's the next step. They go step by step, hand in hand. You got it?
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 42, verse 1. Behold, my servant whom I uphold, my elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him.
So like, where you at? You jump.
Isaiah 42, verse 1.
42 and 10.
Oh, slack. Isaiah 42 and 10. It says, sing unto the Lord a new song.
Or is it 9? It says
nine,
it's 9. Right.
Verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and a new thing do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
Right. So how does he tell you of them? He sent his men and his prophets to come out and prophesy what he wants to happen, which will be the prophecies. Like the scriptures say, none of them shall fail. So none of the prophecies is going to fail. So if the men of the Lord are out there, if prophecies happening, you know the men got to be on the scene. So to answer your question, it has to be the apostles of Great Millstone.
Come on. Jeremiah 28 and 8.
Yep.
You know, the prophets before time have prophesied about war, pestilence. You know, if you could get it real quick, bro, Jeremiah 28 and 8, just to back you up on.
And hold that Romans, because we're going to go back through that.
Yeah, because it'd be some crazy shit if there was no men out there and all this destruction just came and we all just got fucked up. You know? The Most High sent the prophets out there to give us the warning because the grace period is out right now. You know? What would have happened, you know, if Noah was out there, you know, and there was no ark and the flood just came and everybody got fucked up.
Right.
You know? Noah had to go out because it was the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. Noah got lifted up and he had made the ark and he had given them the warning.
Right, because Noah, that was impossible to happen, because what Noah represented was the elect. Him and his household represent the elect of that time.
God.
So the elect of that time went out, which was Noah, but prophesied like 129 years or something like that. Roughly. You know, I could be off, but I know it was over 100 years. He prophesied that for that prophecy to come to pass. So you know that prophecy wasn't gonna happen without Noah getting out there being a watchman.
Yeah, and then the word prophecy used to say before. Go ahead, you got that Jeremiah 28 and 8?
Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
That's right, man, because those prophets were lifted up in the other kingdoms that we were under captivity, and they're basically prophesying the same things, man. You know, we out here now in this captivity, the worst captivity that we've ever been in. You know, Yahweh Shem Shai is raising up the elect, raising up the prophets to go out to the highways and the byways and calling the elect so that we can get sealed, man. Declaring what's gonna happen. Declaring that the kingdom of heaven is for you Israelites, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? Declaring what's gonna happen. The so-called white man is gonna go into captivity. America's gonna get destroyed. You know? The prophecies, man. Being occupied. You know? And yeah, it's part of prophecy that there's gonna be scoffers out there. But hey, man, you're not gonna stop this. You know? It tells you in Isaiah the 14th chapter, roughly around the 20th verse, where it says, the way that I have thought it shall be, or it shall come. You know, so Yahweh Shem Shai has preordained all of this is gonna happen, and it's his movie. You know, he's directing everything, and we just got caught up in it. We got called, Lord willing, we're chosen, and we're applying faith because we believe that this is it, man. We believe that these words are true. They are faithful and true. How it says in second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Yep. Go ahead, Ak.
Back in Romans chapter 8, verse, start at 34, it says, who is he that condemneth? It is a Mashiach that died, yet rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of Yahweh, who also maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of a Mashiach?
That's
right.
the,
Oh, it's like,
I was saying that's one of the points I want to get touched on because these scoffers think that their deeds are actually a good deed. Like they're like, you got these Avengers dudes, right? Saying they were Avengers for Yahweh Shai, right? And they want to avenge the young brothers to come out of the cult. Man, you can't do that. It's like, it ain't gonna happen. You could do all your scoffing, you could do all this talking about you exposing, but read that part again, bro.
It says, who shall separate us from the love of a Mashiach?
Right. Because y'all got separated, which just proves that you weren't part of the elect. You're not part of the fold. But you can't separate the true men from the love of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Go ahead.
It says, shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine?
So shall tribulation or distress or famine? None of these things. So you can get on there and talk about you gonna expose brothers this, you gonna hack brothers' computer and stuff. You know, whatever. Like, the thing about it is, if you hacking somebody's computer, who gonna believe that what you bringing out is true?
I gotta pray.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 6. Chapter 4, verse 6. It says that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter, because the Lord is, because Yahweh Shemel Shai is the avenger.
Right, he's the avenger, and you can't defraud brothers, man. You can't, because the Most High, it doesn't matter if, like, you should think to yourself, damn, if I could try to bring this out or demonize brothers and all that stuff, do you care about what the truth is? No, you don't. But guess what? The Most High don't care about that. You can make brothers look any kind of way you want to look in the eyes of man. You can't change how that brother looks in the eyes of the Most High.
It says, because that the Lord is the avenger of all such, as we also have forewarned you and testified, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have not called us unto uncleanness, but unto holiness. He therefore that despiseth not man.
Right? You're not despising men. So you bringing out these videos, hacking brothers' computers, and call yourself exposing brothers like you think you the avenger. The Most High is the Yahushua is the avenger. If that position's already took, my man. You can't take that position.
Yeah.
You could be a phony avenger. You could be a fake, a fraud, which we all know that you are.
Watch this. It says,
But you only, it's like, but you're not coming against us. When it's all said and done, you coming against the Most High.
That's right. He therefore that despiseth not man, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahushai, who have also given unto us his Holy Spirit.
Right.
So
damn.
Everything that y'all doing, man, is not to us. It's because, like the scriptures say, if he shall persecute me, then they shall also persecute you, because that's what it is. Y'all hate Yahushai, man. That's the spirit y'all come in, man.
And you know why they do? It's because they feel in their spirit and they're not called.
Yeah.
I mean, they're called, but they're not chosen.
Yeah, they ain't. Moral of the story, you ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
The Lord got y'all set on the left hand side, and he got his men that he's chosen on the right hand side.
Yep.
Being on that right hand side, his men gonna stay down that narrow path, and they gonna continue. There's nothing that you can do to separate, the Lord's chosen, from his love, man. There's nothing that you can do.
Hey, so the dog just returned to his vomit, man.
Right. So anything that you think that you're doing against the truth, you're actually doing for it, because GMS code this, somebody might be like, what is that? Watch, you talking about the apostles, they go watch the apostles video, and then they actually fed through the spirit, like, and then that's how they brought it.
Hey, and they think that they preventing brothers from getting this thing, coming into this thing. Really, you actually helping, man, because all things is done for the good. All you're doing is preventing niggas who ain't for to come in.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna block those and stop those who were meant to come in from coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the funny thing. What they're doing, and Taj, you can attest to this. Back in 07, when the apostles first hit the scene, I'm talking about the YouTube scene.
Yeah.
there was dudes coming against them back then. Did it stop us from coming in?
Hell no.
Did it stop them niggas who scoffing now from coming in? They still came in back then.
Yeah.
You had men who scoffed against the apostles back then, and back then the apostles didn't have no fruit. They was
right.
it was just them going out, and the fruit was watching.
That's right.
So they was fruit.
I was against Comfy's crew, man.
Yeah, them niggas comfy in them. Yep.
I got one.
The rain of fire, what they call it?
Yeah. hey, that Rasta Skank slut video.
Yeah.
Man, that went viral.
Yep.
You know,
That's right.
what did it do? It helped those. It helped certain brothers come in, and it stopped dudes from coming in.
That's right. That's right.
This is Job chapter 12, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
That's the spirit. Rob just was thinking about that, bro. So the deceived, which is them niggas, and the deceiver is his. So those who you're the deceiver. You scoffers, you're the deceiver. And those who get deceived by your deception, it's still all in the Most High's plan. Both, and that's perfect balance right there.
Like, if I may, I wanted to get that Hebrew word for deceiver. This is in the Hebrew is shagah, which means to go astray, ravished, wander, caused to go astray, sin through ignorance.
Sound like Fallouts to me.
Yeah, to commit sin of ignorance, in inadvertence, ignorantly.
Hey, bro, it's like hold that. Hey, Ira, get Luke 9:62. Hold it on deck. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's freezing, bro. I'm gonna say it again. The Hebrew word for deceiver is shagah, which means ravish, wander, deceiver, cause to go astray, sin through ignorance, go astray, deceived. It says to swerve, meander, reel, roll to be intoxicated, in drunkenness.
Damn, what's that drunkenness? Is that talking about liquor? Is that talking about wine? Or is that talking about spiritually drunken? They understand. They drunk off all kind of spiritual wine now. That's basically you heavily intoxicated.
Damn.
Spiritually intoxicated. Yeah. You spurring around, just babbling, man. That's what they do in these videos too. Just be babbling like a drunkard in the city, just walking around, just babbling stuff. He stumbling around, wandering around, right?
Yeah.
Didn't it say wander or something like that? Something to the effect.
Yeah.
Go astray. Wandering around. That's what y'all doing. That's what the scoffers is doing spiritually. Y'all spiritually babbling and wandering off, and wandering around, spewing out a whole bunch of madness to whoever will listen to you.
You got that Luke 9 and 64?
62.
This is Luke 9 chapter. This is Luke chapter 9 verse 62. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh.
So those who put their hands, one who was doing the work, had their hands to the plow. Plow represents laboring, working, and looking back. I mean, you take your hands off the plow and go back to what you was doing before you put your hands on the plow. So you're not doing the work no more. You're not fit for the kingdom. You're not fit to be one of the servants of the Most High. You're not a watchman. You left your post. Your tower is vacant.
That's right.
And what happens when you ain't got a watchman on the post? Your city shall be overthrown. And that represents your spirit. You left your post, and so therefore your spirit is not protected. So demons is running all through your city. Represents your temple, represents your body, your spirit. You don't have no defense. That hedge of protection is off you. So what happens? You get swarmed with all these demons. The demons get on you to attack the men of the Lord.
Yeah, that's that scripture in Proverbs. If it's the one that you was thinking about,
28, 25.
Yeah,
You grab it.
Let me get it right quick.
Yeah, if I may say, they lost the blood of Yahushua, man. They don't have that spiritual protection anymore.
Yep.
You know, because what was the protection when that death angel came into Egypt? It was the the blood, you know,
yeah.
of the lamb, you know, which spiritually represents Yahushua, you know, and without the spirit of Yahushua, man,
it's the same thing. Or if you can go into the New Testament, that protection was what happened when demons wanted and Satan wanted to shift Peter.
mm-hmm.
Yahushua was with him. He had Yahushua with him.
Yeah.
So Yahushua warned them that they were trying to shift him. But he prayed for him, meaning Yahushua gave him that protection, that covering.
That's right.
And then he told him to go strengthen his brother.
That's right.
You got it?
So, like you said, it was Proverbs.
I think it's 25 and 28. I think it's 25 and 28, or vice versa. Get the address mixed up sometimes.
Khan. Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Yep, you're not ruling your spirit. That means you're not controlling yourself. And when you're not controlling yourself, a city broken down with no walls. I mean, they're not protected.
Mm-hmm.
And our that represents the Most High ain't got your hedge of protection, so demons are subject to come onto you.
Yep, you've been conquered.
Yep.
Yeah, straight up.
You want me to jump back to Romans?
Yeah. Did you finish that off in Romans?
Nah, I didn't finish it. Back in Romans chapter 8, verse 35, it says, "Who shall separate us from the love of a Mashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long."
Right, so nigga, if you think that you're gonna put out brothers' businesses in 6 months if videos ain't down, man, we killed all the day long, man. The Most High is putting tribulation on brothers. What you think you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? The shit that you could do, that you can call yourself exposed and bring it out this summer. It's like, damn, all the shit you done brought out so far, and it ain't changed, it ain't done nothing. So what the hell? Like, damn.
Yeah.
What the? Ain't none of that shit worked so far. So won't you get that up like you gave the truth up?
Straight up, bro.
It says, we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh Shema Shai, which of love of Yahweh, which is in a Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, our Lord.
Damn, so ain't nothing, not even an angel. Nothing can separate the Most High's elect.
Yeah, straight up.
It's true watchmen, you can't separate them. They not gonna come off the towers, man. They gonna stand on that tower, and they gonna stand on their watch, and they gonna do the work of the Most High, because they got the fear on them, which that fear is the beginning of wisdom and then knowledge.
That's right.
So with that, hope brothers was edified.
Yeah.
You know, through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and salutation to the brothers, the true brothers that's in this thing in sincerity and truth.
That's right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.